here, aka Shank Entertainment. We're back again with another video. As I mentioned in the thumbnail, and to many of y'all, we have a very, very special guest. What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. As y'all can see from the thumbnail, we have Esaias. Uh, how do you pronounce your last name, bro? Exactly. I don't
It's,
wanna. I don't wanna bombard it.
it's Esaias Guthrie.
Guthrie. Okay, that's what I was gonna go with. But like I said, I appreciate you for coming on this live today, bro. It's definitely a pleasure having you on this live. I knew you for quite some time now,
Yeah,
coming up from high school up until now your college year. So I'm definitely glad to see that you're making quite an impact on this world in the college era right now. So
appreciate
without
you.
further ado, um, I definitely do want to give you a huge shout out to you and your team on this nice victory that you came across these past couple of days in the cricket bowl against who'd you play? South Carolina State, right?
Yeah, South Carolina State.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. How does it
appreciate it,
feel to
man.
just be able to accomplish those goals with you and your team?
It feels great. You know what I'm saying? Just playing ball, your whole life and kind of going through and being able to play it at the highest level is pretty dope. But then just to see all the sacrifices that were made throughout the season, kind of come all together, kind of bring it all together in that moment, um, and just to know that it wasn't for nothing. You know what I mean? So it was a pretty dope experience just being there, but then being able to win it and do it the way we did it. That was super dope as well.
Okay, okay, okay. How would you say the atmosphere was throughout that day, like preparing for the game and while you were there? I'm pretty sure it was electrifying on that day.
Um, it was a pretty early start for us.
Right.
Where I'm at now, I'm in Mississippi now, so we're an hour behind. So we played in Atlanta, which is an hour ahead. So our
Oh,
game
okay.
time was like 12 o'clock. Yeah, our game time was like 12 o'clock, so we had to be up around like 7:38, which for us is really like 6:37. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So everybody was kind of dragging throughout the morning. But by the time we got to the stadium and had to go through security and everything, it kind of just hit us all at once. Like, oh damn! Like, all right, we here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just going to the locker room, seeing the locker room, seeing everything, and then walking out that tunnel was pretty amazing. It was just a great atmosphere to be around, and then you know how it is. Like you'll be out there in pregame, and the stadium will look a certain way as far as the fans. You'll go in
Right.
for like 30 minutes, you come back out, and you're like, dang, it's packed. You know what I'm saying? So, having that experience coming out, that was actually wild. But then also just throughout the game, hearing the fans and hearing different things and hearing the roar of the crowd, in that stadium was amazing too. Something that I probably never forget.
Yeah, I definitely seen that from a lot of clips and highlights. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, it look a little jumping out there. So
Yeah,
I
it
can
was pretty dope.
I can definitely see the excitement and all that coming from the team, both sides. Very, very passionate. I know this is a last game with for many of y'all playing with some of y'all. As far as the coaching staff as well, pretty sure the way this transfer portal and NIL stuff is going on, a lot of
Yeah.
people are always on the constant move. So you just never know when it be your last time just playing with your brothers. So um, obviously, as many of y'all don't know, coming from Delaware, got a little couple of pictures to pull up for you, little memories. I
Yeah.
know that you started off at AI DuPont, and you also played
Yeah.
at Middletown to end it off before you made your transition over to the college level. Coming
Yeah.
from Delaware, Delaware is kind of looked at as those. I want to say that state where not too many known athletes come from. How was you
Yeah.
able to reframe and restructure your mind and say, I'm not really worried about that. I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just understanding it's a process to it all, and kind of just understanding that, and then also being able to expose myself to many different areas, and platforms was big. So, I never really stayed too close to Delaware when it came to sports. I always was trying to, get on a travel team that went here, 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 and be able to experience different things and be around those different people, so that my mindset could kind of switch over. Not to be quite honest, it's like crabs in a barrel. out in Delaware. You know, everybody kind of clawing at the same thing, and being happy for each other isn't something that you see quite often, honestly. Um, and so for me, it was just kind of being able to, you know, experience different things, get around some different people, get around people that have also been there at that level in
Right.
order for me to get there myself. Uh, so yeah, I mean, just exposing myself to different experiences.
Okay. All right. I'm pretty sure that you have an outside life outside of football. So currently,
Yeah,
what are you currently majoring in, and why did you choose that major?
yeah. So actually, when I transferred here to Jackson State from Delaware State, I was majoring in business marketing down in Delaware State. But you know, when you transfer, you got to have certain credits that'll transfer over, some
Right.
won't. So when I got here, I actually only had like one semester left. But I had to switch all my credits over. So I ended up graduating my undergrad um, in a bachelor's of science with it in disciplinary studies. But now I'm actually in grad school, finishing out grad school, and I'm
Oh,
getting my MBA, a master's in business administration. So, yeah,
okay. Shout out to that. That's something that I was definitely interested in myself as well, and as well as many people I surround myself with. So definitely a huge shout out to you with that. Business is everywhere, no matter what you do. So um, definitely rooting for you on that end. Um, Next question I got is what do you feel like your purpose is? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What keeps you motivated and keep you going?
just being able to impact people. I'm an entertainer. I think playing football is just another form of entertainment.
Right.
And just being able to cross paths with different people and see the kind of impact I have on different people throughout my day, whether it's being a football player or just being me as a person. You know what I'm saying? Love surrounding myself with good people. Love having that impact on them. So that's kind of like what gets me out of bed, like just being able to make sure I could impact people's lives in some type, way, shape, or form.
Okay. Speaking on impact, like you said, you hit it right on the numbers. Like you're making a huge impact, and you basically paving the way for all the young athletes and male and female, both coming out of Delaware or just in the DMV period. So speaking more on impact, I also came across and something I've been following since you even started doing it. I noticed. I said, yeah, he doing it. He doing a thing. I noticed that you are involved in like a kind of like an outreach thing, like a group that you started at Jackson State.
Yeah.
How long you
So
been doing that?
it's only been up almost a year now, I believe.
Okay.
So it's just it's an assisted living group home.
Yeah.
We help people who need assistance in their everyday lifestyles, whether it's them not being able to wash themselves, bathe themselves, cook for themselves, get out the bed in the morning, being able to do different things for them, get them to and from their appointments and different things like that. So that's what we do. That's what we help with now.
Okay. Yeah, bro, that's different, bro. When I first seen that, I'm like, that's different. I ain't never really seen nobody do that before. So huge shout out to you, bro. Like that's crazy, bro.
Thank you.
Another question I got. So how do you prioritize your mental health and your emotional well being while
Yeah,
maintaining being a student athlete and also being a, which I didn't even know, a young father?
yeah. It's really big for me is being able to compartmentalize, right? Like I have different sides to me. I have Esaias, the football player who E6 and all that. I have Say Less, who's Instagram and social media. I
Yeah.
have Esaias Guthrie, who's the dad, the father, the guy. So being able to, when I'm in the facility going through my football stuff, being that guy, all right, leave that where it's at. All right, let me come home and be this person. And you know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing for me is not making sure those parts of me don't mix, right? Like making
Right.
sure everything is different, making sure I'm able to turn it off and on, turn it off and on, turn it off and on. So I'm not carrying different battles within my life, right? Like if it's a football battle, I handle that on football time, and if I don't, it just has to be seen another day.
Right.
That's just how it has to happen for me. But it's also just understanding like life happens to everybody, You know what I'm saying? They always say life happens from you, not to you, but sometimes it does happen to you, quite frankly. So just being able to make sure that, for me, it always seems to work out. You know what I'm saying? I've noticed that nothing has, I'm still here. Nothing's killed me yet. You know what I'm saying? So I stay prayed up. I stay following through the process, um, and just understanding that like it's gonna work itself out at some point. So let me not even panic about it.
Right. Nah, you definitely have plenty of life to live, bro. You ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, yeah,
How,
yeah.
how old is your son?
He's three.
3.
Three.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You plan on having any more?
Yeah, of course. I love
Okay,
kids, man. Kids my thing. I got nieces, I got nephews.
right.
Uh, so when they come down here, they be tearing the house up. I love kids.
Nah, that's exciting though, bro. When I first seen that, I was like, he got a son too? That's
Yeah.
crazy. But nah, he's definitely looking up to you, bro. And the more that you do in the community for yourself and for your family, he's gonna take control. He's gonna mimic that, whether you see it or
Yeah.
not. Children are always watching, bro, whether we know.
Always.
So
Always.
how do you envision whoever tunes into this or any listeners or watchers being impacted by your story?
Um, I mean, everybody has a different life. Everybody has a different story to tell. But I think kind of all following the same thing, and it's a process, right? Like everybody has a process. I used to have a saying where it's path to the draft, right? And everybody thinks the draft is the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball, whatever that is. And the draft and path to the draft really means wherever your goal is, right? There's a path to get to where you got to go. The draft may be some people, being a corporate person or being a lawyer, being a doctor, being somewhere far in your field. That's your draft, right? And so there's a
Right.
pathway to get to that, and just staying on that course, man, because everybody's course is different. Everybody's course is different, and then also just making sure you're giving off good energy, making sure you're giving off good energy to people, to your kids. You got to take care of your kids, man. I don't care what nobody say, man. Your kids is just something that you just cannot hide from. You can't run from it. You can't walk away. You can't do none of that. And my story with my son is totally different and way unconventional. And I probably, if I told people my story and they figured out how my son came about, they really look at me crazy because they're like, dang, like you really, like most dudes wouldn't stay around for that. Most dudes wouldn't be down and take care of their kids, especially where we from in Delaware. Most dudes is just letting their kids just roam. So that's something that's really big on for me, is making sure that I'm a father first, and making sure that I'm giving off all the great energy to him, passing it through him, and then letting all my blessings come to me, secondary.
Nah, bro, I definitely agree with that, bro. You couldn't say it any better than you said it. Especially in the life that we live now, and just being a black man in today's world,
Yeah.
being a father and just being there for your child, like I said, is always going to be essential, and it's just going to just bring you a whole lot of. It's going to bring you a long way. So, which leads me to my next question. You talked on having your own path, your path to the draft.
Yeah.
Uh, who was your best friend growing up, and did y'all always kind of share the same interests as far as the NFL dreams or playing college football?
So I mean, I had a couple best friends. I
Yep.
had two going into one in high school and then one in like my early years.
Yep.
It's crazy because I actually just reconnected with my one, my first best friend ever, Alex Nutter. I just reconnected with him and his family, which is crazy. Like just to see how like we just on two different paths.
Right.
But growing up as kids, like playing sports, that's always just what we all wanted to do. And so yeah, I mean, we always kind of had like the same like kind of idea, just having that kind of dream in the backyard, playing around, acting like we were scoring the game, winning touchdown and stuff.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I always align myself with kind of the same type of people because I
Right.
mean, I was always around football or basketball, and so that's all the friends that I had, football and basketball. You know what I'm saying? Was my teammates. My teammates was my friends. Um, so that was also big for me, just being around like-minded people, right? Like being around people that all share the same common goal. So we all working to get there, and we all having a friendly competition to be the first person. I think the biggest thing to note is the simple fact that it's not always about you being the fastest, strongest, most athletic. None of that. You know what I'm saying? I always tell this story, but I played in a little league team who had 20 something players on it. I played on a. We all went to high school. We probably was 14 of us at that point, and then we all keep going. Only 5 of us went to college, and then we all keep going. And now I'm the only one playing still, and stuff like that. And I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the strongest. I wasn't the smartest. I wasn't the most athletic. I kind of just followed through the course and never really gave up. You know what I'm saying? Multiple of the guys stopped playing because they had kids or because they had different things they had to do different ways like that. And so my path was just different. And their path was just different. Now they have a different draft, like I say. So it's really just all about finding your way, man. Just finding your way.
No, yeah, I can definitely agree with that. You be hitting it right on the numbers, bro. From experience, I be thinking the same thing in my head as well. So, as far as preparing for different games and just preparing yourself as an athlete and a student throughout the week and the day of, what is like your pregame routine that you usually have?
Um, I don't really had too many like routines. I mean, I take a walk around the field just to make sure I'm settled,
Right.
get a feel for it. But that's it, really. I don't really get dressed till real late. Like I don't really put my pads on until like I'm about to go out. Where like some people that put the pads on go out do pre warming up and stuff like that. I don't really do too much of that. I kind of just let myself settle down.
Right.
Just being that we, whether it's just interacting with fans or whatever we do right before we get there. Kind of just letting my body settle down, let my mind kind of clear out, let all the anxiety and the worries kind of float away. And then I just try to find my family wherever they're at in the stadium and then just go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I be hearing some people's pregame routines. I be like, whoa, what you a Chief Warrior? But
Yeah.
okay. Um, if you had to pick a NFL player that you would mimic your game style or like your gameplay off of, who would you say that is growing up and now?
I don't really mimic my game style after anybody, honestly, just because like I'm more so like on the studying side more than anything. I think my IQ is kind of my strongest point, honestly. So I try not to really. I honestly don't watch much football as it is. Like I kind of don't be
Right.
trying to watch too much because I
Yeah.
watch much film, and so like I think Carson Beck said it one time. Like he'll be watching football and he's thinking like in a football player mindset. Like all right, boom, 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 all right. So I'm trying to break it down while I'm watching it. So I try not to watch too much football unless it's like I know it's gonna be a good game. So that's when I watch it. But yeah, I mean I don't really be watching too much. I don't really model my game after nobody either. Honestly, I kind of just have my own style.
Okay. So you mentioned as well, you could be talented and gifted all you want, but there's also a mental aspect of football. Even me
Yeah,
coming from playing, that's probably like the most important part. You playing as a safety, just knowing certain tendencies on the other side of the ball, down the distance, like different things like that. How would you
yeah,
say that transition is from high school into college as far as learning like the different plays and all that?
yeah. It's huge. It's a big jump. I think in high school you don't really do too much game planning. You don't really do too much checking in and out of things, depending on what the offense or what they're doing and stuff like that. So you're able to just let your athleticism roam and take over.
Right.
And you get to this level, it's totally different. It's a totally different ballgame. You got to be able to think. And you got to be able to think fast. And whether you're again fast and strong, no matter what, like if you can't think fast and be a guy that can get people in and out of issues and get lined up and stuff like that, you're not gonna last. Quite frankly, because I mean they can find a guy that runs fast and jumps high and can catch good. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be able to think. You gotta be able to think fast, think on your feet, and keep it going. That jump is really big, and so that's why I always like I tell my young guys now who, aren't playing. It's not because you cannot play football. We know you can play football. You just can't think football.
Correct.
It's, this why is you take that year off to kind of watch it, kind of watch how it roams, ask questions, be a student of the game, and then kind of slowly transition into playing more. You know what I'm saying? That's what that freshman year is about, I would say. But some people are just freaks of nature, and sometimes you gotta play them. So it's
Yeah,
just
right.
it's just different for different people.
Okay. Yeah, definitely watching you from high school on down your college years. I watched a little bit of you at Delaware State as well, which I'm going to pull up here in a few. Um, I noticed like your whole game style just matured. Like
Yeah.
I'm watching it with the guys now. I'm like, that's who? He said, yes, it is. I'm like, nah, it can't be. Like it's crazy, like how much you matured, and you can definitely tell that you study the game and you know the game a little bit more. I say to myself all the time, I know more about football now than I do when I played in high school. You know, high school we didn't
Yeah,
really watch a lot of film,
yeah,
film per se.
yeah,
It's
at all.
total different ball game now when it comes to that, especially when you know want to get to that next level. I heard some of the NFL plays; they be screaming out some crazy stuff. I'd be like, "What? What play is that?"
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's definitely a big part. Who would you say has been the most influential person in your life? It could be family member, friend, uh, throughout this whole entire process.
Yeah, I mean, one guy that sticks out definitely is, and I call him my dad, my pops. His
Yep.
name's Terry Galloway Senior. He coaches No Limit Hurricanes, but also coaches at Delcastle now. Um,
Okay.
that's a guy who's been in my life my whole life and has followed me through every major decision, and every major or small, minute, everything. He was here for me, and when I graduated, here for me. Seeing night, here for me, and Atlanta this past weekend. He's just always been there for me and always will be. So I appreciate him, love him to life, and I think that's big. Like finding somebody that you can who can be a mentor to you, the right people throughout your process too. You know what I'm saying? It don't gotta always be somebody your age. It could be somebody older. It could be somebody younger. Sometimes it just depends.
Right.
So yeah, definitely him.
Okay. Who would you say? Uh, how can I put this? Who would you say is the hardest coach that you ever played for throughout your career as a whole?
Hard like what though? Like
As far as like the most straightforward, the most strict, or most who's on your case
oh
at?
yeah, him. It was
Oh, it
definitely
was him. Okay.
Gary, yeah, Gary was crazy, man. He was scary. He was crazy. Like we was he was just here for my senior night. What's the senior night? Was it? It might have been my swag chip when he came and we was just talking about like all the old stories of playing little league and stuff like that. Like, no, he was nuts. Stuff he was doing back then, man. They
Right.
different time now, man. These kids getting over a little bit, so. And I tell him that all the time. He kind of got soft a little bit, but he kind of had to too, man.
Don't tell him that. He might go crazy
Yeah.
again. No, as I mentioned earlier, though, you did start off at Delaware State once you made your transition from high school. Looks like you picked up a few awards while you were at Delaware State. So, you want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I picked up, like you said, a few awards, a few watch lists, a few
Yeah.
final stuff while I was there. Broke a few records while I was there, different things like that. But that was big just to do it at home, and I kind of wanted to stay and be able to do some more things. But God just had a different plan for me, and that's just how it was. But yeah, I mean, Delaware State is always home for me.
Right.
Always gonna be home for me. I was there for a while, and I always say I'm still. I didn't graduate at Delaware State, but I consider myself an alum of Delaware State. And whenever I had the opportunity to go back, I always do. And show
Right.
them love too, because that's where I got my start. That's what got me to where I am. That's what got me my first look and stuff like that. It even got me playing DB. I only played DB I think 1 year in high school, which was my senior year. So I got recruited to go there for a wide receiver, and then they switched me over. And then ever since I just been playing DB. So I always thank them for that. And yeah, that's home.
Okay. So as there is a football side of you, like I talked about, and there's also another you. If you wasn't playing football, what do you think you'll be doing in life?
I mean, I still run my businesses
Yeah.
currently, so I would always be doing that. But on
Okay.
my way now, I'm about to go to. I'm finishing up my master's, and then I'm gonna start off maybe do a doctorate and then maybe go to law school. So I kind of got different avenues that I could take. And I think that's what it's all about too, though, having different parts of yourself that you can have, and different avenues that you can go through as well. So I'm not really one dimensional. I'm multi-dimensional, and that's a big thing for me.
Okay. Just a little off topic question, just to spice it up a little bit. If you could
Yeah.
have any home cooked meal today, what would that be?
Um, I love mac and cheese. So mac and cheese and some fried
My
chicken.
guy.
Yeah, mac is my stuff. So mac and cheese, some fried chicken, some yams, or something like that, some greens, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Another question I got for you is, I don't want to get you in trouble. Are you currently in a relationship?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just leave that question alone. Then I don't want her to pop in and be like, "Whoa, what he asking that for?"
He
Nope.
at work
Stay
right
with
now. So.
Nah, shout out to y'all though, as well. Um, Definitely looking forward to and much success to y'all in the future as well.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got though, bro. I appreciate you for tapping in. Everybody who wants to follow your Instagram and wants to join this live, you can also scan that QR code. I put that in there as well, and also put some screenshots as well of your social media pages. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you for tapping in, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. Honestly, bro.
Bro.
You came a long way. You're doing big things in the community for yourself, for your son. Like, I just commend you in many different areas. Nobody's perfect, bro, but I see you taking those steps in the right steps in life. So I commend you for that, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, hope to get up with you soon. I'm in Atlanta now, so.
Oh, all right, that's dope.
Yeah, so I done moved back in 2019. So
Yeah. I think it's
so
always good to get out the city, though. I mean, never forget where you come from. Of
oh yeah,
course,
for sure.
it's always good to get out the city and see different things. So, big ups to you for doing that, man. People be scared to
Oh
get
yeah,
away from what they
yeah.
know. Yeah.
I definitely was a little nervous to make that transition, especially my senior year. I moved down here my senior year, and I was playing football. So I started off at Grayson High School, and then after that, I made a transition to go to Archer High School. So I was around a bunch of 4 or 5 stars. Like I got to see the whole recruiting process that I never was able, to be um, around when I was in Delaware. So it was just a whole different life. Moved fast once I got down here. I could definitely say for sure.
Yeah.
So, but
It's dope. It's dope.
yeah. But all right, bro. You have a good rest of your day. Have a blessed day, and yeah, I'm about to get this thing right.
All right, man. Stay up.
All right, you as well, bro.